Are you ready?
Yes, it's on.
Okay. Oh, it's on? It's on. Okay, we're on. Good morning, everybody. We're on. It's not 9 o'clock yet, but we're on anyway. It's the Lady and the Legend right here on the Legends Radio Network. And, okay, the end of the week. You know what happens the end of the week. Good morning to Chris Gallo. Eddie Heckman is here. James Caprion, Malpal. Did we miss your birthday, Malpal?
Yeah, I think we missed your birthday.
If we missed your birthday, Malpal, happy belated birthday. Unholy Toledo. Did we miss all your birthdays, Unholy Toledo? We have, 152 of them to catch up on? That's too much, okay? And then, of course, welcome aboard, everybody, on a lovely Friday morning, and let's get to it. Are you ready? And you know what I'm hearing? I mean, come on, man. I've been watching baseball.
Come on, man?
Yeah, come on, man. You want to talk about the Queen Elizabeth?
No, I don't.
No, we don't, okay?
I liked her, but I don't care.
So why isn't Prince Charles king?
He is. He's king now.
Why wasn't he king before?
Because Queen Elizabeth had a husband.
But why wasn't he king before?
I don't get the question.
When Queen Elizabeth's husband died, why didn't...
because she's the queen, and it goes in succession. It wasn't
But you
him.
have a king and a queen,
no,
right?
you have a queen and a king consort. It's
so
called
then,
a consort. It means that
so why doesn't Prince... What's his name? Charles?
his name is King Charles III.
King Charles. Why isn't he the queen?
His wife, Camilla, is the queen consort.
Now you got the male-female thing, remember, in this country.
But they did change the rules. It used to be that the first son got to be next in line. And
how do you know this?
Can you just let me finish what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
It used to be that the son was next in line for the throne. But now they changed it. So whoever is the next oldest kid, even if it's a woman, will be next in line.
Okay.
So Queen got in because the king, her dad only had 2 daughters, so they didn't have a man to fill the shoes. And they used the girl because they had to.
Are you next in line on any throne?
Oh, I can't stand you sometimes.
Are you next in line for any throne?
No, Leonard.
All right, how about the bathroom? All right, anyway, good morning to Mitchell. Merrill will be here soon. DK Lush, good morning to you. All right, how about baseball's talking about some major changes that are likely coming. And I'm going to put this in a nutshell by saying, do not make changes to baseball.
Well, they're going
There's nothing wrong with the game. The only thing wrong with the game is they don't promote it right. And it's all about gambling. And you can't. It's all about, that's it, over, under. Will he get 3 hits, 2 hits? Not even about who's going to... So I'm saying the major changes, okay? The competition committee is voting today on rule changes that would begin in 2023. And the goal is to increase action on the field, quicken the pace, reduce the amount of time it takes to play a major league game. Your thoughts?
So the pitch clock, they say it'll be 15-second pitch clock with the bases empty and a 20-second clock with runners on base. What does that mean?
It means with runners on base, you got to throw the ball within 20 seconds.
When the bases are empty, you have to throw it within
15 seconds. Yeah, that's gonna excite a lot of people. That's gonna have people. You know what? I'm gonna watch the game tonight on TV because it's only gonna take 20 seconds to throw the ball with runners on. That's such a bull crap.
Do you have to yell? I'm sitting. I mean, it's one thing when I'm sitting over there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
2 disengagements from the rubber. 2 disengagements, which means that includes pickoff attempts per plate appearances. So if someone's up to bat and there's a runner on first, the pitcher can only try to throw him out twice. And I guess, would that be... What about when you're trying to throw somebody out? Does that count on the pitch clock? Do you only get... Is the pitch clock running when you're trying to...
Yeah, it's running. But then if you throw to another base, you get another 20 seconds. So what happens?
So when there's the requirement of the hitters that they have to be in the batter's box and alert with 8 seconds to go. So hitters don't even have to get in to the batter's box and ready until the clock is down to 8 seconds.
And they're allowed one timeout per plate appearance. And this is all garbage. It's nonsense.
One timeout per plate appearance? Do you know how many timeouts you could have?
They forget that part of the game is building up the crescendo towards the at-bat.
Okay.
Building up I don't know what the word.
Are you John Boy Walton now with the crescendos?
Okay, the dramatics of the at-bat get built up when the player steps out of the box, takes a deep breath, fixes his gloves. Come on, that's just part of the game. And what happens when there are 2 disengagements from the rubber?
Then you can't try. Then you might as well just run if you're on first.
Yes, what happens after 2 engagements have been made? Can the runner just go?
Yeah, apparently. They could just go.
Somebody's not thinking
through
through
So only 2 infielders will be allowed on each side of the second base, with all 4 required to be on the dirt or inner grass. And infielders cannot position themselves on the outfield grass before the pitch is thrown. Bases will increase in size from 15 to 18.
Oh, that's going to really help the game a lot.
It might help for
injuries.
This
is all bull, dinky, and poppycock. It's nothing. Leave the game alone.
It's not going to happen. So
what
stop
they should
yelling.
do is promote the game better.
La la la.
We have great young players coming up. Franco and Rodriguez, just to name 2.
The Mariners are going to make the playoffs.
A lot of great young players, exciting players. Rodriguez, guys who can steal and hit home runs. You got some great. What has to be done is that there should be a limit on how.
A limit on what?
A salary cap.
What?
There should be
You're crazy.
Not a cap, but in other words, the teams should have to spend a certain amount of money.
You mean a salary minimum?
A salary minimum.
That's different.
Leonard. Look at Oakland. Look at Pittsburgh. It's horrible. Spend. Every team should try to win every year.
You think Oakland can spend a lot of money when they're bringing in 4,000?
And why are they bringing in 4,000? Because they told the people they want to move. The stadium is a mess.
No, it isn't.
Well, it is now. Was it when we were
what
there?
What do you mean it is now? They were complaining about that when we went.
But it's not good.
Anyway.
It's not good.
The point
they sold players. They didn't get any players. How are the fans supposed to feel when their team doesn't even care about winning?
Why do you say that's what the players or the management?
But promote the game. If Mike Trout walked down the street today, would you say, Lenny, there's Mike Trout?
Yes, I would know exactly.
You wouldn't know Mike Trout in a
Suck
million.
on it.
What?
I would know Mike Trout. I would bet you every penny I have
I
would know Mike Trout.
Okay, would you know Jeff Trella? Would you know
I've
Tommy Johnson? Would you know Zelmo?
I would know Anoli and Zelmo.
All right, I know Zelmo
and
too.
Eddie.
I know Zelmo.
And Malpal.
All right, good morning to everybody.
I would know them all.
So there's going to be changes coming along, and the bases, 15 to 18 inches. Now that's going to change the game. That's going to make me want to watch the game.
Maybe it'll cut down on injuries because it'll give more room for the players.
Yeah, okay. But that has nothing to do
Who
with
cares?
making the game better.
Do you really, with all the things going on in the world today, do you really care if the bases are 15 or 18 inches wide?
As you said, it may be a safety measure, and that's okay. I'll go with that.
That's just what I think. That's just what came to my head. I didn't read that. I don't know why they're increasing the base size.
They're increasing the base sizes so that it's a safety thing. With the runner going down the line, there have been a lot of problems with that. So, but it also I don't know. I don't know. They don't know. So how do I know why they were doing something like that? All right. So those are the rules. They're voting on it today.
They're going to happen, too, by the way. They're going to happen.
Yeah, they're all going to happen.
And another thing that's going to happen next year is that every team is going to travel to every ballpark. At least once.
Bull crap again. I'm sorry. I'm upset.
Can we have a conversation?
No.
This is not how we talk in real life. You're just
Wait
screaming.
a second. Think about
you
that.
have to speak calmly.
Think about that again. If you can say that again, truthfully,
That is the truth. We don't sit here and scream at each other. When do we do that?
Okay, think about that again. Okay, is it true?
Because it disrupts our stuff.
All right, let's get off of the rules changes because it's going to be terrible no matter what. And then you got Wander Franco is going to meet his team in New York, and he's set to be activated this weekend. Who's this?
You there, everybody? Is the sound good still?
The sound is good.
Yes.
Is the sound good? Wander Franco meeting Tampa in New York, set to be activated this weekend. Probably for today's game.
Today?
Yep. Friday's game.
He had a great game on Wednesday with the AAA Durham Bulls. That was a huge step in his recovery.
Yep.
He will be with the team, and he should be activated today if you get a chance to throw him in your lineup. If you're still playing, congratulations. That means I feel like we went and helped him out some.
And good morning to Chris
If they're still playing, did we help him out?
Who?
If these people listening to the show, if they're still in the playoffs, did we get to say that we helped them out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. The Twins, they also, everybody's talking about the Twins. They have 17 players out with injury, more than the Yankees. And so, in other words, that's Byron Buxton plus 16.
Buxton was nominated. Interesting. This is just a tidbit that I learned. The Roberto Clemente Award next weekend.
Oh, really?
And each team... This year, they changed the rules a little bit. Every team nominates one player, and you have one winner for each league. And the Twins nominated Byron Buxton. Now, what you have to do to get nominated for the Roberto Clemente Award is that you have a lot to do in your community, that you just, you're good in your community, basically, is what you're doing off the field. Byron Buxton was nominated for the Twins, which is interesting to me, and I thought it was nice. Compliment to Buxton.
Yep, it certainly
because
was.
He's always injured, but he must be doing some good for the community.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yesterday, I didn't get to talk about Albert Pujols hitting a home run today.
Yes,
but I do get to talk about another couple of veteran players.
I know you love this. You love the veterans, don't you?
Yes. I'm with you, aren't I? No, but I love the Cardinals. I think they're great this year. No offense to Cubby fans out there, because I know this is your rival, but I think even Cubby fans like Unholy Toledo, which we've talked about it in the chat room before, is willing to give credit to these guys that, between Goldie, Arenado, Wainwright, Yachty, and you got to give them credit. It's just wonderful. On the same day that Yachty made history with Adam Wainwright, he hits a home run yesterday.
What history?
The history that they made is now that they are tied with Mickey Lolich
okay.
and Bill Freehan with the most regular season starting batteries, 324. So now they're tied. If they're going to break that record.
Of course,
clearly. Yachty hit a 2-run homer, and they've started together 324th time. That's wonderful. I think it's just great. I could sit here and talk all day about the Cardinals and what they're doing, but let's go ahead and talk about the only player in the Anaheim Angels.
Oh, the Angels. This is going to be, I got to tell you, it's going to be a better, our podcast is going to be getting stronger and stronger, especially with Tito Luna in the chat room. Good morning. And Jeter Luna. Good morning to Jeter and Tito.
Don't forget Jeter.
Now, listen carefully.
How old is Jeter now?
How old is Jeter, Tito? Okay.
We always think of these kids as just young, always.
Because it's our next chat room.
And they're
okay? That's right.
Yes, we're raising our next chat room.
We're raising our next chat room now. We're the only chat room in this country that has
recruits kids.
That has a minor league chat room and a major league. Okay. But here's the thing. The off-season and the off-season podcasts are going to be better than anything we've heard all year. Anything, right? And the reason why, what are you looking at?
I was just reading the chat. I got to get my phone so I can look at the chat room.
Yeah, get the phone.
Because I can't see that far.
One of the great parts of the off-season is going to be, what are the Angels going to do with Mike Trout? What are the Angels going to do with Shohei Ohtani? And what are the Angels going to do with the Angels?
The best hitter and pitcher on the Angels is, their team leaders is one guy. Ohtani, 32 homers, 85 RBIs, a 360 on base percentage, 130 hits, a 270 batting average. He also has 11 wins, an ERA under 3, and 181 strikeouts. Is he going to hit 200 this year? He only needs 20 more.
Who?
Ohtani. We're talking
okay.
about the Angels, which means
okay.
Ohtani.
He says, well, look, he leads the team in batting average. Did you say this already?
Oh, yes. Caprellion, James K. I'm just going to call him James K. I have such a hard time. He corrected me. He's right. The teams will play every other team next year, not necessarily go to every other ballpark. So,
right.
But interesting. Are you sure about that? Because the reason that they wanted to do this, I think, is because the fans in some parts of the town, they don't get to see all the star players.
But I think they're just going to play every team.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a home and away.
I might be impossible.
Ohtani leads the team in batting average, 270. Leads the team in home runs with 32. Leads the team in RBIs, on-base percentage, hits, earned run average, strikeouts, and wins. What? I have never, in the history of the game, ever seen one player dominate a team with Mike Trout on the team.
Well,
so what do you think they're going to do with Ohtani? Andrea?
I have no idea. And I honestly,
I
really don't care.
What?
I like Ohtani, and I'll follow him wherever he goes, and I'll be happy wherever he goes. But I'm not into this, okay, what are they going to do? Who's going to sign where? It doesn't fascinate me like it fascinates you. So you and your off-season excitement about where's everybody going to go. Nobody has a clue where anybody's going to go. That's the truth.
Nobody has a clue, and that is what is going to make it exciting.
So
we don't have. Will the Yankees dare to give up on what's his name? Judge? Will they dare?
Let's talk about Judge for a second.
Man.
Since the All-Star break, the Yankees offense without Judge. So we're going to compare Judge to the rest of the Yankees team. Since the All-Star break, Judge's average is 340. The rest of the team is 207. 207. It's hovering at the Mendoza line.
Okay.
Judge has 21 home runs. The rest of the team does have 32 homers. So that's
21 home runs.
Since the All-Star break, Judge has 21.
Break. Okay, good.
And the rest of the team has 32.
Right.
Since the All-Star break, Judge has an on-base percentage of 481. I don't think I've ever seen. 481. And the rest of them, their on-base percentage is under 300, which is horrific.
275.
Yeah.
All right.
823 slugging for Judge, 322 slugging for the rest of the team. 322.
Against 823.
It's crazy. Slugging is... What is slugging? It's two things added together.
Slugging percentage, which is a very... look, because of the home runs and RBIs... I'm trying to punch up.
Let me see what it is.
You punch it up.
I'll help you.
You ask me questions that you don't know if I know the answer to.
I'm sorry.
I just don't know the definition. I can tell you what it is, but I'm trying to explain it here.
Slugging percentage is a measure of the batting productivity of a hitter. It's calculated as total bases divided by at-bats. That's batting average? Wait, no. Through the following formula. First base, singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. And then divided by the number of at-bats. Yeah. Whatever it is.
The Yankees will not give up Aaron
That's
Judge.
A horrible slugging percentage, okay?
And the Yankees can't give up Aaron Judge. And
we should know this, right?
But with Judge, Ohtani, even Trout could be on the market. You got to be kidding me, okay?
Shouldn't we know what slugging is?
You should know.
Scoot your foot over before I step on your toenails.
What about Cruz?
Lenny's toenails are out of control.
Knock it off, all right?
They're longer than anything.
Yeah, so are your boobs. I'm sorry.
Your toenails are so long, Leonard.
What about Cruz on Pittsburgh?
Okay.
You see what he's doing? September 30 he was 2 for 4, then 1 for 4, then 3 for 5, then 2 for 4. How good is this kid? He's really pretty good, right?
I would say... Potato Pika, O'Neal Cruz is worth going to see, even if you don't like Pittsburgh. Between the ballpark and this kid, it's worth a trip to.
It's definitely worth
a trip.
So, so you
Plus,
got
it's
Pittsburgh.
affordable, it's beautiful, the parking is
Right. It's worth a trip. So
Yeah.
why don't they sell out? Because the team stinks.
They still sell more tickets than
They
Oakland.
still, Oakland has told the people not to come. All right?
What?
Yeah, they basically have told the people not to show
Oh,
up.
come on, man.
The
Nestor Cortez is back.
Well, yeah. Well, look, the Yankees announced that DJ LeMahieu is headed to the injured list. We've expected that. Miguel Andujar was recalled to take his spot.
He's got toe inflammation.
And then Nestor
Miguel.
Cortez.
Yeah,
Okay.
reinstated.
And I think he pitched yesterday. All right. Is that correct? Nestor Cortez pitched yesterday.
Yeah,
Did
we'll
okay.
talk about him.
The Yankees enter play Thursday.
No, now they're 4.5 games.
Yeah.
They have a 4.5 game lead.
Yeah, they entered Thursday with 5. They have a 4.5 game lead now. So look, the second half swoon absolutely has knocked this team off, and
They had a 4-game winning streak till yesterday.
yeah, they're
Till
not
they
as
lost
bad.
yesterday.
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
Okay,
So Ted Williams, on base percentage.
Wait a second. You talk about Ted Williams. White Sox Al has entered the chat room.
Well, we have a lot to say about the White Sox.
Donkey Okie has entered the chat room. Good morning.
DK Luce,
Go ahead.
Trella, Ken Flamia.
Kenny
Isn't
Flamia.
Flamia a teacher?
I don't know who.
I thought he was.
What are you talking about, Ted Williams?
Are you done burping?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, only you can burp?
I like burping.
All right, go ahead. Ted Williams, what about him?
Ted Williams'
Interested to
on-base
hear.
percentage at Fenway Park is .496. So essentially, he reached base 1 out of every 2 times that he came to the place at Fenway. So
Think about that.
yeah,
In
he
his
reached
home
base
ballpark,
1 out of every 2 times.
One out of every 2 times he reached base.
And that was from age 20 until age 42. That's a span of 1,165 games.
Oh, my
So talk
goodness
about
gracious.
consistent.
You know, we talked about young players at the beginning of the show with, we mentioned Franco, we mentioned...
Wander Franco is not a youngster anymore.
he's not a youngster. We talked about Frank. He could win the rookie
We
of
talk
the
about
year.
Julio
We
Rodriguez.
took a Julio Rodriguez.
We talk
and
about
on the
O'Neal
youngster,
Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz. But take a look at this Arizona team.
Yes.
Corbin Carroll.
Yep. He might be regarded as the MLB's top prospect. He
Yep.
might be the top prospect or just at least one of the top prospects. He got promoted earlier this month. I know a lot of people probably weren't even paying attention to that because Arizona is not necessarily the greatest team, but they've been very good. Anyway, 307 in the minors this year with the 425 on base percentage. So far, since he's been up, 281 in the majors with a 324 on base percentage. That's through his first 8 big league games. But he has 24 homers and 31 steals between the minors and the major on the season. Corbin Carroll.
Definitely a fantasy player. How much you paying for him next year? Probably about, 16?
24 homers and 31 steals.
All right,
so
I'm
far.
going to start the bidding. Let's see
I'm
if the
not
chat
going to
room...
break $10 on this guy.
You're not breaking... I'm going to
No.
go as much as 16 to 17.
For Corbin Carroll.
For Corbin Carroll.
Bring it on.
16, 17 for Corbin Carroll. And then
How much you going to pay for Arenado?
Hey, look, I have Alec Thomas this year. I drafted Alec Thomas. How about that?
Okay.
Top prospect. Jake McCarthy has surpassed
Alec Thomas is not that good.
Alec Thomas.
Not for fantasy.
He had a very good start. He's batting about 250. Okay,
Right.
he's a very
He's
good.
defensive.
He's a good defensive player. Alec Thomas is a steal if you can get him like at $4 or $5. Yes,
He's a steal,
He's-
even though he
he's gonna-
doesn't hit homers or steal bases.
He's going to improve. And
defensive
McCarthy,
guy.
who is batting around 285, 7 homers, 2 triples, 15 for 6 McCarthy.
Yes.
Jake McCarthy.
He's a player for fantasy.
15 for 16 total bases.
And between Corbin Carroll, Alec Thomas, and Jake McCarthy, that's the outfield, right? That's the future outfield for the Diamondbacks. These 3 guys are outfielders, and they're all...
Well, wait a second. They also have Stone Garrett, who's
Yes.
surprised, and Dalton Varsho.
He could be a catcher again.
He's not.
Because he
He's
sucks?
He doesn't suck, but he's a tremendous.
Is he second baseman?
He's playing the outfield now, and he's doing great.
I thought he played second base.
He's doing great. Dalton, you're the one who touted him at the beginning of the year.
2 years ago.
All but Garrett are lefty hitters. Okay, so a trade could be possible.
We love lefties.
With all of them left-hand hitters. By the way, Tony La Russa
is hoping to be back as early as next week, but we don't know what's wrong with him.
Well, he had some stuff, but the
guy that's filling in for him is doing great.
But what's wrong with Miguel Cairo is doing great, wins and losses. But the information that I'm getting is that this team does not look like does not look happy.
Okay, hold on.
Cairo is ruining the team, is what I'm being told.
Okay, right. That's what you're being told by some vulture journalist who is making up stuff. I do not believe this stuff for one bit, but for what it's worth, this journalist said that Cueto and Luis do not look happy. Cairo is ruining this team. They aren't having fun. Eloy doesn't count because he's always messing around. Moncada trots around the bases, not fast enough. He's a lazy bum. This is just despicable from a sports writer to speak of people and players like this. It's not, first of all, Moncada trotting around the bases, he's a lazy bum.
He's a lazy bum? Moncada, a lazy bum? He
had 2 homers last night.
You don't think Moncada's done well?
It's not for a sports writer to talk about what they think of people personally. Just tell me the stats and get on with your life. I want to know if things happen that are relevant.
Yohan Moncada is the only player in the major leagues this year with multiple 5 or more hit games. Yohan Moncada is the first player in American League history to have 5 or more hits and 5 or more RBIs in a game 2 times in the same season.
But he's a bum.
Moncada.
He's a lazy bum because he doesn't run around the bases fast enough.
Oh, that's what they said about
Big Papi.
About Cano.
And Big
Robinson
Papi.
Cano. But then again, I can't say this about Moncada, but Cano didn't miss any games. And Moncada, by the way, against Oakland, 17 for 46.
And 4 home runs against them.
Not too bad, right?
So anyway, that's what they're saying about this new manager. But the guy that's taken over for La Russa, who's supposedly ruining the team, seems to be winning games.
He's winning games.
So how unhappy can the team be?
And you're right. Isn't that the bottom line? Do the players have to be happy to win games?
Maybe they shouldn't be so happy and they might win more games.
I've been talking about the clubhouse factor and all that stuff, but maybe just a little overrated. I think winning is what makes a clubhouse happy, not the manager. All right? Most strikeouts with no walks in a game.
And everybody said the team doesn't like La Russa, too. Remember?
Well,
nobody likes La Russa,
yeah,
too.
That's been going around for a while.
Well,
let's see what happens when La Russa comes. Corbin Burns had 14 strikeouts and no walks.
Yes, dude. He had a great outing yesterday.
He's done it before. He had 15 strikeouts in 2021 and no walks. He had 13.
This is the most strikeouts with no walks
Would
in
you scratch
Brewers.
My back again?
Hold on, let me say this tidbit.
Go ahead. Scratch my back.
The pitchers with the most strikeouts and no walks in a game in Brewers history. Corbin Burns has 3 of the top 5. Yeah. The other 2 are Gallardo and Bush. Dave Bush in 2008. Anyway, let's talk about the White Sox again.
Go ahead.
The last time the White Sox hit 5 home runs at the Oakland Coliseum was, guess when? You were there with Unholy.
What, in 1840?
In 1981.
All right, we were there. Yeah,
I was 6.
It was the second game of a doubleheader, I believe.
And then yesterday was a doubleheader, too.
But who hit the home runs?
Carlton Fisk, Harold Baines.
Fisk hit 2, I know.
Okay.
I don't know anybody else.
Wade, I don't know the names. Chet Lemon.
Chet Lemon, I remember, good center
Wayne
fielder.
Nordhagen.
And the attendance that day, back in 1981, was over 25,000.
At Oakland Coliseum.
At Oakland. You know what the attendance was last night?
4,591.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
4,500.
That's just horrible, right? That's just so dismal.
It's terrible.
Anyways, it's taken 5 months, but the White Sox and its offense finally has come alive. They've won 7 of their last 9 games, outscoring opposition 55-24. They sit a game and a half behind the Cleveland Guardians in the AL Central, and they're tied with the Minnesota Twins for second. And you do think that the White Sox are going to pull through?
I do think the legend says the Chicago White Sox will win the Central Division of the American League, and I've said it many times. I said it at the beginning of the season as well. So you take that. But Minnesota,
they're tied with Minnesota.
First win at Yankee Stadium since 2019. They finally won a game.
Yeah, in the Bronx.
They're now 3-24 at Yankee Stadium.
3-24 at Yankees.
There you go.
So, Carlos Correa, let's talk about Carlos Correa.
Go ahead.
He says he loves Minnesota. What is he going to say? He hates it there?
But he's going to opt out, and I'll tell you what.
But he can opt out.
This is, again, more for the off-season. Go ahead.
Yeah, he can opt out if they don't come up with a long-term contract for him. And so this I don't know, the person that wrote this tidbit, they want to know, they say it'll be interesting to see if Correa or Trey Turner will get the top shortstop deal. To me, it's a given who gets it. There is absolutely no competition in my mind. Right. But, of course, you get a right to choose what you think.
Well, Turner has no injury history like Correa does.
Right, and
he's just but Correa's a better defender, and Carlos Correa is younger than Trey Turner. I didn't know that. Go ahead.
Who cares?
What about...
How much younger is he?
I don't know. What about Xander Bogaerts?
So Xander Bogaerts, I went and pulled up his stats because this was intriguing to me. Xander Bogaerts was said to be insulted by the Red Sox. God, again, these adjectives. Ridiculous offer. They made a ridiculous offer to add a year at the same under-market $20 million. So don't look for a hometown discount there. Well, once again... if Xander Bogaerts is insulted, so be it. A lot of players get insulted by the first offer that they are given.
A lot of shortstops out there. The Braves are trying to keep Dansby Swanson ahead of him filing for free agency.
I'm sorry, does 12 home runs and 8 stolen bases really deserve over $20 million a year?
Who, for Xander Bogaerts?
I mean, I know he's great with he's great with batting average, he's great with on-base percentage, and he's a good clubhouse guy. But you're hitting 12 home runs and 8 stolen bases, and you really think it's a ridiculous offer to say that you deserve $20 million a year? How much money do you want for 12 home runs and 8
$20 million
steals?
in today's market is bull dinky, by the way. That's nothing.
Some of the best players in baseball don't make over $1 million.
That's because they decided to play it safe. And they're not making what they could be making in exchange for getting it now.
He's got a lot of really good stats, and his underlying stats are great. His contact rate is great. And he hits the ball hard. I mean, everything. He does a good job. But to say that it's a ridiculous offer of $20 million to get 12 home runs and 8 stolen bases.
Well, what about Dansby Swanson? Would you rather have Dansby Swanson or Xander Bogaerts?
I'm taking Swanson.
You're taking Swanson?
Yeah.
Well, because you make that for dinner every night.
He's got 18 home runs and 17 stolen bases. He should hit 20-20 by the end of the season.
Really?
284 batting average.
How many stolen bases does he have?
17 stolen bases.
Dansby Swanson has 17 stolen bases?
Yes, but he's been caught 7 times. So that's not great, okay? And he's 28. So the steals are not really concrete. You know what I mean? If he keeps getting caught stealing, they're not going to let him continue to run. I just think I would take him. Let's see what Xander Bogaerts. He's 29.
Yeah.
And Dansby's 1 year younger.
Yeah. And the Cubs and the Phillies are among the likely landing spots for some of these shortstops. The Yankees have faith in Anthony Volpe, but Bogaerts in the American League East for the Yankees could make some sense, and is also taking him away from Boston.
Well, they better not offend him by offering him $20 million a year.
You know, there's a player who I liked, and
Conforto.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Your boy.
What happened to Conforto?
I guess he wanted to be on a contending team. This is what they say. Who knows if this is true, but he apparently had more interest from non-contenders, and the word is he will likely sign a multi-year deal this winter. The word is, well, clearly they're going to sign him for at least 2 years, and he's hitting at full bore, so he is this is an off season for him right now, but he is up to full workouts, and he's healthy.
Swinging a bat, doing all that stuff.
So he should be ready by next season. And I assume that he'll get signed. I don't know why he didn't get signed this year.
I'm surprised.
The Mets have made a lot of great moves, but the trade of J.D. Davis for Darren Ruff...
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's going to be
neither of these
any
guys
good.
are good.
Yeah, well, the Mets' decision, they decided not to part with any of their top 5 prospects.
That's a good idea.
It probably cost them to get a full-time player to bat behind Pete Alonso, okay? But Alonso is...
intentional walks.
Yeah, leads the league with 14 intentional walks.
But Aaron Judge is getting walked more and more. So
Aaron Judge should be walked every time.
These guys only have 14 intentional walks. That's crazy.
And that's the other thing
how many
about
did Bonds
changing the rules. And I didn't see this, but for an intentional walk, have they eliminated the pitches for the intentional walk and said just go to first base?
No, I think they still go through them. I don't know.
Right? I haven't seen the intentional walk. I don't know.
Do they still go through the 4 balls?
But there's a build-up to the ball 4. You never know if the pitcher's going to accident. How many times?
And sometimes the batter hits it.
Have you seen a batter hit an intentional walk over the wall? I mean, come on. There's something about the build-up to these things. It makes it fantastic.
How many years have the Cubs been trying to trade away Wilson Contreras?
Doesn't it feel how about that on Holy Toledo? Contreras.
They've not offered him a deal. They've never offered him a deal that covers his free agent years, but they will likely give him the qualifying offer this year, which he deserves.
Okay.
Luis Severino.
Yep.
He looked great in his last rehab outing.
Okay.
So they say that the Yankees have high hopes for quick returns by Britton, Miguel Castro, Scott Effross, and they may need to ride pitching. So their pitching is pretty good right now, I would say, as long as they get those guys back.
Okay.
Anyway, what's up with the Glass now? Is he really coming back this year?
6. He had a nice inning the other day.
I really hope. I know they say they're going to put him in the bullpen.
I didn't know he was 6'8".
He's tall.
Right?
So, even though he's going into the bullpen, don't you really think that this would be somebody for fantasy managers in the playoffs to target, even though he's in the bullpen? Because he's still going to be helpful.
Not in the bullpen. No,
I do.
You target him if you have a dead spot.
Because he's going to
target him if you're in a keeper league and you can keep him for next year.
He's already taken him.
Then you target him. Andrew Vaughn, by the way. Everybody loves Andrew Vaughn. Is Daniel Ferrara here? No. 1 for 31, all right, against the Angels and the A's. All right, so he's 0 for 16. 0 for 16 against the A's, 1 for 15 against the Angels. And over a span of 18 starts, pitchers who've struck out 125 or more and allowed 15 or fewer earned runs have been...
since 1920.
All right. Well, okay, let's go. Sam McDowell, one of my favorites. Sudden Sam, 1965.
Sudden Sam? I bet I know he knows him too.
Bob Gibson, last night, another great game. 18 starts, striking out 125 or more, and allowed 15 or fewer runs.
Yoan Moncada, we already talked about him.
And it sounds like the Mets will have Starling Marte try to play. He's got a fractured finger.
So they say they're going to try to let him play just like they did with Lindor because it worked out so well when they let Lindor play hurt. I mean, this is just unbelievable, dude.
We'll see. But an injured list is possible.
Okay.
So let me just ask you this question.
Yeah, no problem.
Who would you rather have? Alek Manoah or Garrett Cole? Next year. Come on, chat room. Who are you taking? You need a pitcher. Alek Manoah or Cole? Manoah or Cole? Who do you want?
Who I'll take.
Right?
Every day of the year.
Eddie Heckman loves Sudden Sam, right?
Sudden Sam.
Alek Manoah. And some people say he's a top Blue Jay pitcher. Now, let's think about that. Is he better than Roy Halladay?
DK Lou says Cole.
Is he better than Dave Stieb, Roger Clemens, Pat Henkin? Is he better than David Wells, Casey Jansen, Billy Koch, Scott A.J. Burnett, Jimmy Key? I don't think so. Too early to put Alek Manoah into the category of a top Blue Jay.
I'm taking Manoah every day of the year. Isn't he a lefty?
Are you taking him over Garrett Cole next year?
I don't ever draft Cole.
Come on, chat room. Garrett Cole or Alec Manoah for next year, okay?
Cole throws tantrums so much.
Jeff Correa says still Cole 1 more year. All right, let's go to the games. Take the phone call. Just calling left to right. We talked about Molina. We talked about Alex Call had 4 hits.
So Lenny tells the spammers.
I don't even know who he is. Man. I got a new thing with the spammers, all right? Yes, how you doing? Good. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And they start telling me their spiel. And I say, look, I'm very interested. Could you talk a little slower? Oh, okay, no problem.
And then they get through like 3 or 4 sentences, and he says, wait, can you please talk slower?
A little more slower.
And he gets them to slow down so much.
I got people talking one word every 30 seconds now.
And then he says, and then when they finally get the spiel out, Lenny says, do you want to talk to my husband?
Unbelievable.
And then they hang up.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they're hanging. I get spammers hanging up on me. Cesar Hernandez having a great year, but not hitting homers. Drove in 3 runs. Okay. Jordan Hicks came in, relieved Andre Palante. The Nationals had 18 hits and earned a 4-game split.
The Nats won 11-6 last night.
Yeah, no, Eddie Heckman has Josiah Gray, and he gave me a list of pitchers. Who would you? And in looking at it, if you need saves, there's a couple of closers on there, including Leclerc.
Where's the list?
But it's in my email. But as a starter, I'm not sure. Look, I think you got to stick with Josiah Gray.
Alex Call had 4 hits and 5 RBIs for Washington. Does anybody know Alex Call?
I have no idea. That's why I didn't elaborate on him.
Okay, Alex Call. Check him out. So I was really sad that Pujols didn't get in there and hit me another homer.
St. Louis lost just for the 4th time in 24 home games.
Victor Robles was out.
Robles. Oh, another one of my stiffs.
What about Tyler O'Neill, another stiff? Both have neck stiffness. Both were held out of the starting lineup.
You're not a stiff because you have neck stiffness, by the way.
Oh, what are you stiff for?
You're a stiff if you're not playing well. Come on, we got to end this podcast. Everybody's leaving the chat room. Tyler O'Neill
I don't think anybody's
was
leaving.
held out of the starting lineup, but available to pinch hit. Jonathan India had an RBI single in the 9th. He has
18 hit. Okay, he has hits in 18 of his last 20 games. His average is now 266. He missed time with a hamstring injury, and he had a slow start to the season. But Seiya Suzuki has hits in 14 of the last 17 games, hitting 365 in that stretch with 3 homers and 5 doubles. So it looks like Seiya Suzuki is waking up again.
Yep, and this kid Diaz.
Ian Geibalt got his first save.
Ian Geibalt.
I don't know if that's how you say his name.
That's it.
But we shouldn't put an L in there. It's Geibalt.
It's Geibalt. Ian Geibalt.
Maybe Ian only knows how to say it.
And he looked pretty good. Watching him on TV this morning, he looked pretty good. Nick Senzel was back in the lineup. How about that one? The Reds released Colin Moran. We talked about Contreras. We talked about Corbin Burns, broke out of his recent slump. The Brewers are at home for 20 of their last 26 games.
They're hoping that the schedule helps them to get a late surge and maybe can they still make the playoffs?
Yes, I think they can. I mean, they're still there. I mean, Devin Williams retired the side in order. He earned his 11th save in 12 opportunities. So, yeah, they still have a chance to, they have a chance. San Francisco and Milwaukee, what about that?
Who's a better closer since Hader went to San Diego? Is it Devin Williams
I don't know.
Hader?
I would probably say it's Devin Williams, but I don't think Hader is done. How much are you going to pay for Josh Hader next year?
$10.
How much you paying for Devin Williams?
$8.
Aha. There's your
But that's
answer.
huge. That's a big difference. People were paying $25 for Hader last year.
Okay.
And they were paying $2 for Devin Williams. Anyways, the doubleheader yesterday had 2 sets of brothers facing off. The Giants and...
Boy, and not just brothers. They look exactly...
Twins.
Yeah, they're twins.
Both sets are twins.
Exactly alike.
It was Tyler and Taylor Rogers, and then Jason and Scott Alexander. And the last time 2 sets of brothers played against each other in the same game was 1977. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. Do you and I look alike, you think?
No, Leonard,
You don't
we
think
don't.
so? That's
Not
good.
even close.
Not even close. Okay, go ahead. Let's
All right, let's go. The
get
second game of the doubleheader.
All right.
What, Leonard? What are you trying to do?
I
Talk
don't
about the Marlins against the Phillies? Rhys Hoskins, 11th error, dude. And it cost the Phillies the lead. The Miami Marlins snapped a 9-game losing streak.
Your boy Joey Wendell hit a home run.
Big deal. He's horrible. I like him a lot.
Dylan Florio.
That was only his third homer.
That's it?
Yes, I think that was only his third homer.
Gosh.
According to what I saw on Quick Pitch this morning. I think it's only his third.
Florio,
that's not enough.
Florio, 2 scoreless innings, got his first
Floro.
win. Floro.
He's 1-2.
Yeah. And the Phillies made it 3-3. Nick Maton, who's a terrific bunter, hit a solo homer in the third. Bryson Stott, 2 RBI blooper.
Alcantara raised his ERA in the last 4 starts from 1.92 to 2.43 just in his last 4 starts. So the Phillies have tagged him for 15 runs in 5 starts this season, meaning that Alcantara.
Yes,
Alcantara. Whatever.
Sir Anthony Dominguez started a rehab. He'll be back soon. How about that one?
Wheeler could throw a bullpen session this weekend and may not need to make a rehab start. And Zach Eflin was expected to make a rehab start this week for AAA. The Twins beat the Yankees. We talked about that a little bit.
And since the start of 2017, the Minnesota Twins are just 2-16 in regular season games at Yankee Stadium.
New York went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position and stranded 10 runners.
Okay.
Sonny Gray, 2 runs, 7 hits over 6 innings. And Miguel Andujar, this poor guy, he deserves to get some playing time, dude.
Or at least a chance to play, right?
Yes.
And the Twins closed within a game and a half of the first base Cleveland, whatever their name is.
So did you know that Anthony Rizzo has 30 homers?
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
I didn't, but
he's got an epidural. Okay, he has headaches now from epidural injections.
Really? Andujar hit his second home run, his first since June 29th of not next year.
So Yoan Moncada, the lazy bum, went 5 for 6 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs last night.
And what about Nestor Cortez, returned from...
I moved on to the next game.
All right, he retired the first 12 batters. Okay, he's back.
Chicago had 21 hits last night, including 10 extra base hits. It's the highest scoring game of the season. They've won 7 of its last 9 games, but their manager is ruining the team.
Oakland's lost 3 in a row.
14-2.
7 of its last 8. No surprise there.
Cease
and how about Eloy? 2-run homer in the 4th.
Oh, but he's miserable, I thought.
White Sox are going to win the Central Division. Lewis Robert missed his 2nd straight game.
Wait, wasn't he pulled?
He missed it. He got hit on his left. He got hit on Tuesday. He's also he's day to day.
He better not be day-to-day right now. It's the most important time of the season. They're a game and a half back. He can't be day-to-day. He has to be out there every day.
Luis Giolito makes his 3rd career start against Oakland.
So as disappointing as the White Sox have been, and we've talked about them so many times this season, it's almost like you just wouldn't even think that they're in contention at all, the way that we've been talking about them all season. We expected so much more out of them. But even for these White Sox fans out there, which we have a few in the chat room, it's an exciting way to end the season. I think this baseball season is ending nicely, with a lot of action, a lot of close...
And you don't have to change the rules, the stupid rules of the game. Promote the players more, promote the game more, and let's go out there and play baseball like you're supposed to. These rule changes don't mean bull dinky. Nothing. Thank you to Chris Gallo, to DK Luce, to the Donkey Yoki, Eddie Heckman, James Caprion, Jeff Trella, Mal Pal, happy birthday, Unonly Toledo, White Sox Gal, Zelmo, King Hap, everybody who didn't show up today.
I think we missed Mal Pal's birthday.
We said happy birthday. We thank you all, and look, we'll see you all on Monday, okay? Anything else? And by the way, my phone number, right? You can't,
I'll put it in there.
We're going to put the number in the chat room right now, just in case you have to give me a call if you got a question.
I just put it in there.
There it is, the phone number.
You can always count on me, Leonard.
Always count on Andrea. And you can always count on me. and we could always count on you. So thank you. We will speak to you
Monday.
Monday.
Have a
Thanks.
great weekend, everybody.